assuming I can give the remarks. It's hard to see them in that light. I do see the light, however, and hopefully I will reflect some of that Tom and Annette displayed so very, very well. Ambassador Sweat and the beautiful Katrina, thank you very much. John and Diane, John and Rachel, thank you very much for being here, of course, but for what you mean to so many, what you have reflected in your own lives and your own courage and your own dedication, and the help that you have given literally to scores of people individually and thousands of people in a way that they will never be able to express to you. So I'm pleased to be here. I am neither Tom Lantos' grandfather nor his grandson, and would qualify closer to being his brother, I suppose, than anything else. But notwithstanding that, we had an extraordinarily close relationship, of which I will speak. So thank you, Chelsea, for that introduction and for carrying on your grandfather's legacy, and I might say your grandmother's legacy. He would be so proud of you as well, and his daughter Katrina, I know, is here with us today and very proud as well of her parents. I am honored to welcome you all to the nation's capital to bestow these awards that bear the name of a dear friend of mine, Tom Lantos. Tom and I served together in the Congress for 27 years. I'm sorry his wife Annette was unable to join us today, but I know her spirit is here, and her spirit is within this foundation, as is Tom's. I traveled with Tom and Annette in Europe, behind the Iron Curtain, and on numerous congressional delegations. Tom and Annette were a formidable and courageous team. I don't know, as I reflect on a couple that I have seen more together than Tom and Annette Lantos. It was as if they were not only one in marriage, but one in fact. They were so ever present with one another. For them, the fight for freedom, for human rights, and was not some abstract exercise. They lived it. They suffered it. They took joy in the victories and sadness in the defeats. They lived it as Hungarian Jews who, as children, had to fight for their very survival and the survival of their people and the Nazi occupation. We have other heroes here today who reflected the same kind of courage and spirit and empathy and caring and love that Tom and Annette displayed all the time. They both survived with the help from the Swedish diplomat Raoul Wallenberg, whom Tom and Annette later fought to have recognized as a human rights hero in the capital and in this city, and indeed around the world. They did not emerge, however, from the war unscathed, as you all know. Tom lost his mother and most of his family to the Holocaust. Annette lost her father and most of her family. But instead of giving in to despair, Tom and Annette chose to keep fighting against injustice, inhumanity, unfairness. That's what you've done. In the face of an unbearable tragedy, you turned it into something positive for others. Tom and Annette turned their grief to grace and their trauma to tenacity, waging decades-long campaign to protect human dignity around the world. As Viktor Frankl said, what is to give light must endure burning. A very tough analogy indeed. Our two awardees today, Diane Foley and Rachel Goldberg-Polin, chose to do the same when confronted with similar tragedy. I read that similar tragedy probably is no similar tragedy. They are all unique, all contingent upon the reason for grief and the griever. There is no one stronger than that which another feels for their child. I have 3 daughters, and my wife and I have 17 grandchildren, way behind, of course, you, but I don't think we're trying anymore either, so you'll stay ahead of us. Sadly, there is no pain more searing than that which a mother feels when they lose their child. Diane endured it when ISIS took her son James, an American journalist, hostage in 2012. Rachel endured it when Hamas took her son Hersh at the Nova Music Festival massacre on October 7th. I've had the opportunity, the sad duty really, to walk through the myriad pictures that are placed on that field, that tragic field of loss. Neither of their sons survived their captivity. We exult in those who came home, too few, of course, but we grieve for those who did not. But like Tom and Annette, neither of these remarkable women have given in to despair or depression or giving up or leaving the field or not caring about others. They continue to advocate for hostages and hostage families around the world, as does this extraordinary foundation that Tom and Annette and her children founded and keep alive and vibrant and vital and important today. I've seen that firsthand with Rachel and her husband John through the past 2 years since October 7th. My national security advisor, who's here, Manya Jean Gitter, has coordinated closely with them through this ordeal. They have met with members, with staff, with anyone who will listen, both before and after learning that Hersh was dead. Why? You could answer that question, and you could answer that question, and the Dalai Lama and Hillary Clinton could answer that question, because they have experienced people of courage and faith as the two of you and the 2 Johns that you brought with you, so that the other hostages' families know that they are not alone, and so that no more families have to go through this as they have. I know Diane has done the same. Rachel, thank you both for your service, for your strength, for your courage, for your empathy, for the tears you have shed, not only for your own, but for others as well. A strength that gives light to those who see it most. I want to thank you both. John Kennedy said in his inaugural address, "The energy, the faith, the devotion we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world." Diane, Rachel, John, those of you who have been honored before, have lit that torch of human hope, of humanness, of humanity, of justice. The foundation has given exposure to that light and pursued that light as indomitably, well, I'm not sure anybody could pursue something as indomitably as Tom Lantos and Lantos did, but certainly as much. You do God's work. God bless you, and thank you. I would not leave because I'd want to hear all of you speak, but we have a caucus, and we're trying to get the government open. And please remember, health care for the many who cannot afford it. Thank you.